Imagine a wedding night so scandalous, so whispered about, that it became one of the most infamous tales of the Renaissance. A young bride, Lucrezia Borgia, daughter of one of the most powerful and most corrupt popes in history. Her marriage night, it is said, was consummated, not once, not twice, but 3 times in a single night. But was this really the truth? Or was it a story carefully crafted by her enemies, designed to stain the Borgia name with scandal forever? Tonight, we peel back the curtain of time. We step into the candlelit palaces of Renaissance Rome, and together, we will uncover the life, the wedding, and the scandal of Lucrezia Borgia, a woman caught in the middle of politics, lust, and betrayal. The Borgias, a family of power and scandal. To understand Lucrezia's scandal, you must first understand her family. The Borgias, the name alone sent shivers through Renaissance Italy. Rodrigo Borgia, Lucrezia's father, began as an outsider from Spain. But with ambition sharper than a blade, he climbed the ranks of the church until he achieved the unthinkable. He became Pope Alexander VI, and with the papal throne came power, immense power. Power to crown kings, to bless wars, to control nations, but also power to corrupt. Enemies whispered that the Borgias poisoned rivals with cups of wine, that they bribed officials with bags of gold, that their feasts ended not in prayer, but in sin. In this world of shadows and secrets, even children were not children, they were weapons. And Lucrezia, she was not just a daughter. She was a pawn, a golden piece to be placed on the chessboard of politics, whenever her family demanded it. Now let me ask you, if you were born into a family where your every move, even your marriage, was not your choice, would you call that a privilege, or would you call it a prison? Lucrezia was born in 1480. From the moment she opened her eyes, she was surrounded not by innocence, but by whispers of power. Raised in Rome, she walked through corridors heavy with incense and secrets, priests, cardinals, courtiers, all scheming, all watching. But while the world outside was corrupt, Lucrezia herself was carefully trained. She was no ordinary girl. She was taught to speak Latin as easily as Italian. She could write in Greek and Spanish. She could play instruments, dance with grace, and converse like a queen. Beauty, charm, intellect. She had everything her father needed to barter her like a jewel. At the age of 13, Lucrezia was already promised to a nobleman. At 14, she was married off to Giovanni Sforza, a union designed not for love, but for politics. But politics is a ruthless master. When the alliance no longer served the Borgias, Pope Alexander demanded the marriage annulled. Giovanni was humiliated, furious, and in revenge, he spread a rumor that would stain Lucrezia forever, that she shared a bed, not just with her husband, but with her father and her brother. Truth or lie? History leaves us with shadows. But this was just the beginning of her scandal-filled life, the scandalous wedding night, and now, we arrive at the story that has echoed through centuries. Her second marriage. In 1498, Lucrezia wed Alfonso of Aragon. The wedding itself was a spectacle. Rome lit up with torches. Music filled the air. Nobles dined on roasted meats and fine wines, while minstrels played beneath the stars. But the true drama was not at the feast. It was in the chamber that followed. Whispers spread like wildfire, that the marriage was consummated. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in a single night. Was this proof of passion? Proof of Alfonso's strength? Proof of Lucrezia's beauty and desire? Or was it gossip, exaggerated and twisted, designed to turn a private moment into public scandal? Some claimed the Borgias themselves encouraged the story, flaunting their virility as if to say, "We are powerful, we are fertile, we are unstoppable." Others believed the enemies of the Borgias spread it, to mock them, to reduce a marriage into a tale of lust and shame. So I ask you, who do you believe? Was this night an intimate secret, or a weapon in the endless war of politics? In Renaissance Italy, a rumor was not just words. It was a weapon sharper than any sword. The story of Lucrezia's wedding night was about more than passion. It was about image. In a world where power depended on perception, such tales could make or break a family. For the Borgias, Lucrezia was proof of beauty, fertility, and influence. For their enemies, she was painted as lustful, immoral, a woman of scandal. The rumor of 3 consummations was repeated in taverns, in noble courts, even in foreign lands. It was whispered by ambassadors in letters, recorded by historians who hated the Borgias. And once a rumor takes root, it is nearly impossible to erase. So was Lucrezia a seductress, reveling in her scandal? Or was she simply a pawn, dragged through the mud of politics, her private life no longer her own. The tragedy of Lucrezia's later life, the scandal of that wedding night, was only the first shadow in Lucrezia's life. Soon after, tragedy struck. Her husband, Alfonso of Aragon, was murdered, stabbed on the orders of her own brother, Cesare Borgia. Why? Because Alfonso had become a threat to the Borgias' political ambitions. Imagine the horror. A young bride, her marriage turned into a scandal, her husband murdered by the very family that had forced her into the union. And yet, Lucrezia's life did not end in despair. Years later, she married once more, this time to Alfonso d'Este of Ferrara. This marriage was more stable, more genuine. As Duchess of Ferrara, Lucrezia became a respected patron of the arts, beloved by her people, but the shadows never left her. To the world, she remained the daughter of a corrupt pope, the sister of the ruthless Cesare, and the bride whose wedding night became a scandal for the ages. Ending and reflection. So, was the story true? Did Lucrezia and Alfonso truly consummate their marriage 3 times in a single night? Or was it nothing more than a tale, twisted, exaggerated, and weaponized by politics? The truth may be lost to history, but one fact remains. Lucrezia Borgia lived a life where her choices were never her own. She was trapped between her family's ambition and her enemy's propaganda. Her story reminds us that history is not always about kings and battles. Sometimes, it is about the women whose lives were used as pawns. Women judged not by their deeds, but by the stories told about them. So I leave the question to you. Do you think Lucrezia was a victim of circumstance, or a master of her own fate? Comment your thoughts below. And tell me, what other untold stories of history would you like me to uncover next? If you enjoyed this journey into the scandalous world of the Borgias, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because more secrets are waiting in the shadows of history.